By the last week of most months, Daniel already knew what he would find. He opened his banking app, looked at the balance, and felt that small drop in his stomach. There had been no holiday, no emergency, and no expensive night out he could point to and blame. The money had gone somewhere else. A few food deliveries on tired evenings, a couple of online orders that felt reasonable at the time, 3 subscriptions he barely used, a coffee here and a quick purchase there. Each one had felt small, none of them had felt like a real decision. And that was the strange part. Daniel was not reckless, he genuinely wanted to save. At the start of the month, he had even told himself that this time would be different. So why does this keep happening? Why do so many of us keep spending, even when part of us sincerely wants to save? The easy answer is to blame a lack of discipline, but that explanation is incomplete. It does not tell us what is driving the behavior. There are several quieter forces at work, and once you can see them, the pattern starts to make more sense. The first is what psychologists call present bias. When you buy something, the reward is immediate. You get the food, the item, the convenience, or the small lift in your mood right now. Saving works differently. The benefit sits somewhere in the future, weeks or months away. It is harder to picture and harder to feel. The future version of you who wants savings is real, but they feel distant. The version of you standing in the shop, tired and tempted, feels much closer. So the immediate reward often wins. This does not mean you are weak. It means the present feels more vivid than the future, now feels solid, later feels like an idea. The second reason is emotional. A lot of spending is not only about the thing being bought, it is about the moment surrounding it. After a difficult day, ordering food may not be only about hunger, it may be about relief. Buying something small can feel like a reward for getting through something stressful, and for a moment it works, you feel slightly better. The problem is that the feeling fades quickly, but the pattern remains. Over time, the mind can learn a simple link: feeling low, buying something, and then feeling a brief lift. The behavior may repeat the next time the same emotion appears. Spending can become a way to regulate a feeling, not only a way to get something you need. You are not always buying a product. Sometimes you are buying a few minutes of comfort. The third reason is how easy spending has become. Think about how money leaves your account now. You do not count out notes or watch a wallet become thinner. You tap a card, use your phone, or click a button. Your payment details are already saved, and the entire process may take only a second. Some research suggests that digital and contactless payments can make spending feel less noticeable than handing over physical cash. There is less friction, less pause, and less sense of money physically leaving your hands. The purchase can therefore feel smaller than it really is. Later, it may also be harder to remember. Now put these 3 things together. It is the end of a long day. You are tired, so careful thinking feels like extra work. You feel low, so a small purchase offers a little comfort. Payment takes one tap, so there is almost nothing to slow you down. Present bias, emotional relief, and frictionless payment can all arrive in the same moment. In that moment, spending feels completely reasonable. Do this a few times each week, and the month adds up on its own. It may not happen because of one large mistake, but because of many small decisions that were easy to forget. That is often the real problem. It is not simply that you spend. Everyone spends. It is that you cannot clearly see yourself spending. The decisions are too quick, too small, and too scattered. By the time you notice the result, the money is already gone. This is where a Japanese practice called Kakeibo can be useful. Kakeibo means household financial ledger. It is a method of recording income, expenses, savings goals, and reflections about spending. It is not a secret, and it does not guarantee that you will save money. Its main value is that it makes spending visible. A simple version of Kakeibo works like this. At the beginning of the month, write down the money you expect to receive, then list the expenses you already know you must pay. Decide how much you would like to save. As the month continues, record what you actually spend. Then review the pattern. What did you buy? Why did you buy it? Which purchases were necessary? Which ones were driven by tiredness, convenience, boredom, stress, or habit? And what could you change next time? The important part is not perfect categories, it is reflection. Kakeibo creates a pause between spending and forgetting. It turns money from something that disappears into something you can actually examine. It will not remove stress, it will not make every purchase unnecessary, and it cannot make an inadequate income suddenly become enough, but it can make repeated patterns harder to ignore. Sometimes that is the first thing that needs to change. You do not need a special notebook, you do not need a complicated spreadsheet, you do not even need to begin with a full budget. Try this instead. For the next 7 days, record every non-essential purchase. Next to each one, write one short sentence about what you were feeling or trying to solve when you made it. Maybe you were tired, bored, stressed, celebrating, avoiding something, trying to save time, or looking for comfort. Do not try to stop yourself yet and do not judge the purchase. Just record it. The goal is not to be good, the goal is to see clearly. By the end of the week, Daniel did not suddenly have more money, but he had something he had not had before. He could see the pattern, the late evenings, the tired decisions, and the small purchases that kept appearing in the same situations. He had not needed to become a perfectly disciplined person overnight. He had needed to make his spending visible first. Once he could see it, it stopped being a mystery. It became something ordinary he could begin to change. Awareness is often more useful than self-blame. If you enjoy calm explanations of everyday behavior, subscribe for more. And that is why we do that.